What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN OnyxCoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Here we are at 2057 right now. 19 hours, 15 minutes left in the day. We're staring death in the face. It is April 2nd. Yes, April 2nd right now. Liberation Day, the day that Trump is supposed to put tariffs on the whole damn planet. I'm anticipating that we will see a rather negative kind of result across the markets, stock markets and crypto markets alike. If not today, then perhaps at some point. I know that a couple days ago we were saying, and even yesterday I was saying that if today comes and we don't see lower prices happen, then it's completely possible that we don't see lower lows in this in Bitcoin. And I think that is still partially true. But after taking April or March 4th into consideration, right? We had tariffs announced on Mexico, China, and Canada come out, and they're still there, right? I don't know where it is, why people think Trump took off tariffs, right? But he hasn't. There's no suspension or pause on any tariffs for Mexico, China, or Canada. They're all still fully enacted. And so the notion that tomorrow, I think there's a lot of people, or not tomorrow, but today technically, there's a notion that a lot of people are holding to, which is that this is just some kind of bluff. I think it's going to be more intense than a lot of people are expecting it to be, but I don't think it'll be super intense. Maybe not as bad as he originally made it out to be, right? It's not going to be 100% reciprocated tariffs, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, what I'm trying to identify here with March 4th, yes, we're talking about Bitcoin, but we'll come back to OnyxCoin in a second. By the way, just hint, hint, I think we might actually form a double bottom and bounce here, but we'll get to that, okay? March 4th was when these tariffs versus Mexico, China, and Canada got enacted. We actually pumped for 3 days after that, including that day and after that, and then we dumped. And then we saw a massive dump that took about a week, about 5 or 6 days there to complete. So it is possible, and even though I know that earlier I've said that if we don't get a dump as of today, it might not be a possibility anymore. Looking at it like this has actually kind of encouraged that notion that we could go lower. This was the event. This was the day here on February 3rd where we thought the tariffs would come out. It got pushed back. That's a bullish thing, and yet still we dumped down days later. So maybe today we do pump. Maybe Bitcoin does go to 86.5K. Maybe tomorrow is the day that we begin to dump. I don't know. But with that in mind, if Bitcoin does move up today, if today is received as some kind of positive event or not that big of a deal, and people feel more confident in risk-on assets like OnyxCoin and other meme coins, or not meme coins, sorry, altcoins. I guess they're all meme coins to some degree. No, altcoins. We might see a very rapid recovery here. We do on a daily time frame, not as of now. I mean, technically as of now we do have bullish divergence, but it does look like a lower low right here. Today is right here, okay? Right here. Yesterday closed right there, right? So all we have to do today is close above yesterday's low, and then we have bullish divergence on the daily time frame. The bullish divergence started back here, and that would essentially take us back to prices that are above a cent. Maybe by the end of today, maybe sometime tomorrow, before the drop happens, or the next day. Maybe. And again, we pumped on the tariffs getting announced for 2 or 3 days, so it doesn't have to be immediate, but it is possible. On April 10th, we also do have CPI data coming out. April 14th through April 20th. There's some central banks meeting to do some updates on what they think about the state of the economies around the world, and just doing their spring updates, stuff like that. There's some big things going on in April, beyond just what's happening today on April 2nd, but we'll see how it goes. If it's all positively received news, then you guys, these lower prices might just be out the window, and that's phenomenal if it is. But I think not a financial advisor. If you were looking to buy XCN, this might be the last opportunity to get prices down here at below 0.009. I really do think we're about to bounce from here. We've got bullish divergence on a daily basis. If today closes green, only if today closes green is it. If it's red, we get rid of our bullish divergence. We have a lower low, right? And technically not even red, just I would say probably below 0.088. If we close below 0.088, then yes, it will likely get rid of the bullish divergence, but we could still set up for some kind of double bottom nonetheless. The 4-hour time frame has bullish divergence on it as well. We could close here or lower on a 4-hour period, and we do have bullish divergence building from there. If we get some kind of recovery, I wouldn't be surprised in the least if this recovery took us to higher prices than this. A double bottom off of this, you guys, likely would take us to higher prices. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if we were to go to higher prices, the expectation from this low at least, and let's say that is the low, at 0.0856 on Coinbase here, If that is the low, or a little bit lower, these targets only get higher. The next target area would be 1. That'd be 1.174 cents, 1.279 cents, something of a 35% to 47% pump for OnyxCoin, right? That's kind of the expected move to happen. If we double bounce from here, if we find a double bottom from here. If we go lower, the expectation might be that we go just a little bit lower and we find support at this wicking low or this wicking low here, something between 00833 to 0082. And still going down that low, we could find bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. Now, if we go down here and it takes this candle and maybe next candle to happen, but then by the end of the day, we come back up to close green, you guys, that's fine. We would solidify bullish divergence on the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame, and that'd be a powerful, not just double bottoming signal in this respect, but also a powerful signal as in we found support at the low of the land of the rising sun here too, and the prophecy has been fulfilled and we are moving upwards, you guys. It could be a very significant thing, and I'm kind of anticipating that we do bounce from here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if I was to buy, I think this is a great, I might actually have to buy more XCN here, guys. I think I'm going to. I think after this video, I think, I'm going to. After the end of this video, I'm going to buy more XCN. That's what's happening. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. It's not going to be a significant amount, but it's going to be, with whatever cash I have on the side, we're going to do that. Yep, just a little bit, but we're going in. I might actually do that right now. Let's see, hold on. No, I got to do that. I'm gonna have to take this off. I have to move some things around. Anyways, whatever. 3 hours 9 minutes left. Double bottom right now, and this 4-hour candle, 3 hours 9 minutes left. I do believe that we're going to be moving up higher. I'm very confident in this being a kind of double bottom area, and if it's not and we go lower, then guess what? It's just a better opportunity for you guys to buy. We call that the C-Zar special. You wait till I buy, you wait a day, and then it's down 20%. You get to buy it at cheaper prices. We call that the C-Zar special there. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but there was a good bit of time, man, where I swear throughout like 2024, every time I bought, if you just waited a day or two, you had some pretty killer prices. We did close last week below 1.12 cents. The goal of this week, no matter what happens, whether we go lower, whether we don't, whatever, the goal for this week is to close back above that 382 area. We want to close above 1.12 cents. So whether we move up, whether we move down, whatever, we want to get back up above this area here. If we go lower, the lowest I'd give us is 007. I don't think we go lower than that, but it's very, very possible. And I think even likely at this point that we do find support somewhere in this area. Make no mistake, we could go a little bit lower than this low here. We really could, and still find a double bottom of sorts, still have bullish divergence, still come up and close the day bullish, and have bullish divergence on the daily as well. And and if that happens, hold on. Let's make sure I'm unplugging the right thing here. Gotta plug this in. If that happens, everything's going to be merry and not scary. Likely, if we did see a pump that took us to, 1.17 cents. It was like right here, something like this, or 1.3 cents, something like this, right? If we saw a pump like this happen, a movement up like this would be a sizable divergence away from this whole downtrend. This would be a bit different. I think this would encourage people to buy who've been speculating on this for a long time. People who have bought more down here have been DCAing in, and now you see this kind of stuff. It might be a reason for people to lay the hammer down and FOMO in right there. It's going to be an excuse for people, or not an excuse, a reason I should say, in validating the notion that we are breaking out of this downtrend. A downtrend that we've been in since January, and it really is just a picture-perfect bull flag. Whenever it comes to this bull flag, you guys, as we move lower, the target moves down too, but that's okay because this is still a very, very bullish kind of situation we're in. From a high to a low, or a low to a high on the flagpole to where the price is now. If this bull flag is to be respected, the measure move takes you all the way up to about 17 cents. Now, measure moves are not everything. Sometimes you fall shy of them, sometimes you exceed them, okay? And if this is the low, not saying it is, but if it is, then it's very possible that we could either stop right here just below the measure move at about 14.5 cents or go just above at 23 to 28.5 cents, something in that area. I'm thinking we go above 20 cents. I'm thinking we see a 23 cent price or higher by the end of this move. And this move will take place, I think, we'll see a good bit of it happen in May. We'll probably recover and rebuild and kind of configure ourselves throughout April. I think it'll be a very tradable range. And then when it comes to the end of April, maybe that last couple of weeks in April, week and a half, whatever, going into May and June. It's just going to be something. It's going to be like a rocket ship that you just want to be strapped into, man. You don't want to play with it. You want to hold on for dear life and just wait until it takes you to the land of the promised. This is not meant for everybody. There's a lot of people who have bought throughout this range who have sold out already. There's a lot of people who have bought in this range who are sick and tired of the games. They're seeing these lows. They're feeling the pain in their gut. They got bills to pay. They've got emotions running high, and it's just a very unideal moment, but it's making people sell and capitulate down here. I do believe, and I'm actually kind of curious, what Grok, what do you got to say here? Grok, what is the sentiment on XCN based on X.com's chatter? Let's see if there's anything, because this might not be the best kind of reference, but there's probably more people talking about XCN on X.com than there is anywhere else, right? Probably. Let's see. Bullish sentiment about approximately 30%. Look at that. Bearish sentiment is high. Neutral, undecided. Well, I bet when we're at these lows, they're probably a little bit more bearish. That's for sure. But we'll see. Most people are not bullish. And oftentimes, whenever most people are thinking one way, we go the opposite direction. That's kind of how it is. Not that Grok is the arbiter of truth, but he does estimate, and he is pretty damn smart, I would say, and sophisticated as far as AIs go. And I trust the data, not 100%, but a good bit. I think that it is reliable data for the most part. But it is an estimate. Let's just be clear. On a weekly basis, we do have lower lows in the RSI. We've cooled way the hell off, you guys. We still have higher lows overall, but lower lows relatively speaking, with higher lows overall, but also higher lows relatively speaking. That's hidden bullish divergence. You've gotten overbought. You have not gotten oversold. This is a perfect area to bounce from, and I think that when we recover, we won't stop at the area that's just below the measure move at 14 cents there. I don't think so. I think that we will see prices well above 20 cents, and time will tell. Again, I think that'll come to fruition fully by the end of May, if not by the end of June. A lot of people, you guys get ready. They're all going to tell you that you were lucky. You got into the right coin and that you're lucky. You couldn't do it again. It just happened. It happened randomly, and you picked the right coin. You got lucky. You held on to it. You put some money into it, and good for you. But you're just lucky. Everybody that's been holding XCN since January, anybody that's been holding it since when I've been holding it since March of last year, of 2024 and beyond, we know, and anybody since before then, you know that it's anything but luck at this point that will bring the I don't know, the financial fortune, the success of this thing, the success of our aspirations to reality, to light, right? It's not luck at this point, man. It's determination, it's conviction, and at one point it's going to be validation, right? It's if you're not here, if you're in this thing at this point, you can't say that it's luck whenever we're up here, man. It's not luck, right? It's not luck at all, but that's how a lot of people do. Whenever, anytime, and I've done this before actually, especially with, I've got one of my friends who watches this, who he's kind of a hater, but he's done this before where I will hold something and it'll pump, and he'll say it's that I got lucky, that something happened, I got lucky. Justin's son talks smack about it, and that caused it to pump or whatever, and then whenever it pumps again, he'll say, oh, you just got lucky. There's some kind of thing. At some point, man, it's not luck. It's a matter of skill, and it's a matter of understanding, right? This project has a lot of potential, and I'm just on a whole nother tangent here, but all I'm trying to say is whenever we're at 20 cents, I wouldn't be that surprised if there were people who were just saying that we got lucky on this thing. But anybody holding this knows that it's not luck at this point. And I'm done repeating the same points. I'm going to end it there. I've got nothing else to say. I very much do believe that we are in some kind of double bottom scenario. Does that mean that this is the low? No, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. We could go a little bit lower. At this point, I wouldn't be too devastated if the land of the rising sun were broken, but with how Bitcoin's looking, with how the rest of crypto is looking, I have to admit my sentiment has changed a little bit. I am bullish. I don't think the land of the rising sun is going to forsake us, and I think it will uphold us, and we will launch higher in a very short amount of time. I think today and tomorrow might be very bullish days, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it's not today and tomorrow, it's just today, but at some point we will have a correction. I think Bitcoin will have a correction as well, and I think Bitcoin will see lower lows. I just think XCN will see high enough prices where it will not actually drop to lower lows. That's kind of my anticipation at this moment, but I've got nothing else to say. I feel like I'm rambling at this point, so I'm going to end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.